Nam. Today, our group will talk about managing the external environment and organization's culture. First, we need to look at two perspectives on how much impact managers actually have on an organization's success or failure. First, the omnipotent view of management is the view that managers are directly responsible for an organization's success or failure. It also explains turnover among college and professional sporty coaches who are considered the manager of their teams. On the other hand, the second kind, the symbolic view, refers to external forces outside the manager controls as the main factor that leads to an organization's success or failure. External forces can be customers, economics, government policies, etc. Managerial discretion is constrained by organizational environment and organizational culture. Now that we understand two kinds of views of management, let's look into the external environment, its constraints and challenge. The term external environment refers to factors and forces outside the organization that affect its performance. Components of external environments are political, demographic, economic, socio-cultural, technological, and global. Managers face constraints and challenges from those components because of the impact that they have on jobs and employment, environmental uncertainty, and stakeholder relationships.
My name is Thư and I will introduce you guys an organizational culture and its challenge and constraints. First one, we will find out what is organizational culture. It is the shared values, principles, traditions, and ways of doing things that influence the way organizational members act and that distinguish the organization from other organizations. And our definition of culture implies three things. The first one is perception, which is not only that can be physically touched or seen, but implies perceive it on the basis of what they experience and within the organization. The second one is about descriptive, which is concerned with how members perceive it on culture and describe it not with whether they like it or not. And the last one is about the shared aspect of the culture. Like even though individual may have different backgrounds and work at different organizational levels, they tend to describe the organization's culture in the similar terms. Well, research also suggests 7 dimensions. They seem to capture the essence of an organization's culture. The first one is about attention to detail. The second one is outcome orientation. The third one is about people orientation. The fourth is about team orientation. Fifth is aggressiveness. Sixth is stability, and the last one is about innovation and risk taking. So we will come to the next definition about strong cultures. The strong culture is an organizational culture in which the key values are intensively held and widely shared. And people ask that, is having a strong culture important? Well, yes, because the more employees accept the organization's key values and the greater their commitment to those values, the stronger the culture. And the stronger the culture becomes, the more it affects the way a manager plan, organize, lead, and control. And in organization with strong culture, employees are more loyal than in organizations which have a weak culture. Research also suggests that a strong culture are associated with high organization performance. But however, the drawback is that a strong culture also might prevent people from trying new approaches, especially when the conditions change rapidly. The next question is where culture comes from and how it's continued in organizations. Well, the process of it is first the original source of culture usually reflect the way the vision of the founders. Then, once the culture is in place, however, certain organizational practice may have maintained it. Then the action of top managers also have a major impact on the organization's culture. Next, through what they say and how they behave, the top the top managers establish norms that filter down through the organization and can have a positive effect on employees' behavior. And finally, organizations help employees adapt to culture through socialization, a process that helps new employees learn the organization's ways of doing things. And well, how people learn culture. Actually, employees can learn it in numerous ways. The most common I have find out is they learn through stories, rituals, material symbols, and they learn through language. And people also wonder if the organizational culture affects a manager. Well, it does affect the way they plan, organize, lead, and control. For example, managers are unlikely to pursue programs that are innovative, risky, long term, or expansionary in an organization whose culture conveyed a basic distrust of employees. Managers are more likely to use an authoritarian leadership style than democratic ones. And to conclude, a manager's decisions are influenced by the culture in which he or she operates. We will move to my teammate part. Her name is Minh Thư.
Hi, my name is Tu, and I'm going to talk about the current issue in organizational culture. In the business world, a organizational culture have played a crucial role. Now let's look at three current cultural issues. The first one is creating an innovative culture. The second one is creating a customer responsive culture, and the last one is nurturing workplace spirituality. So there are 8 characteristics of an innovative culture, and these are challenge and improvement, freedom, trust and openness, idea time, playfulness or humor, conflict resolution, debate, and risk-taking. A customer responsive culture have 5 characteristics. The first one is outgoing and friendly employees. The second one is trust and openness. The third one is empowerment. The fourth one is clear roles and expectation. And the last one, it requires employees who are conscientious in their desire to please the customer. Workplace spirituality is important because employees are seeking for a counterbalance for the stresses and strain of a turbulent pace of life. Also, aging baby boomers and older workers are looking for something meaningful, an involvement and connection that they have never found in a contemporary lifestyle. And to meet the need that organizational culture is not meeting for some of them. A spiritual organization has 5 characteristics. The first one is strong sense and purpose. The second one is focus on individual development. The third one is trust and openness. The fourth one is employees empowerment. And lastly come the toleration of employees' expression. That's the end of my part. Now, Lynn will go deeply to the case application 1.
Hello, my name is Lynn, and I will handle the first case application, which describes about the Zappos organizational cultures. So now, let's discuss some questions. The first one, file a list of all 10 of Zappos corporate values. Pick 2 of the values and explain how you think those values would influence the way employees do their work. So here is a list of 10 corporate values of Zappos. In my opinion, the third and the 8th values would influence the way employees do their work because first, when creating awareness and humility, the company can have a unique and memorable personality, more interesting and fun for everyone, so that they can keep the employees engaged in the work they do. Second, do more with less can help employees want to do the best they can with what they are given. The second question, using the list of corporate values and Exhibit 3.5 describes Zappos organizational culture. In which area would you say that Zappos culture is very high or typical? In my opinion, the organizational culture at Zappos fosters so much creativity. People in this company tend to work in groups and they are not afraid to innovate or taking risks. The third question, how did Zappos corporate culture begin? How is Zappos corporate culture maintained? Zappos corporate culture first begin with the founder and later is refined as the company grows, new management and experience from important events of company's history. And culture can be maintained through proactive measures by management. The fourth question, the right culture with the right values will always produce the best organizational performance. What do you think of this statement? Do you agree? Why or why not? First, we need to know that what does the right culture mean? The right culture is the culture that fits with environment, and this culture should also be performance strong to withstand changing trends. If this is a correct fit and cultural values are reinforced, organizational performance will be higher. So that I agree with this statement. And the last question, what did other companies learn from Tony Hsieh's and Zappos experiences? You know that Tony's passion for creating a fun work environment and pursuing high levels of customer service appears to be a winning combination. His proactive stays with restraint to creating a set of company value and checking periodically to determine if they are being followed is something that other companies should emulate. That is the end of my part. So now let's move to another case with my teammate.
So the case application 2 is about the not so out, and in this case it talks about the development of movie theater industry and the difficulty they has to face with on its way together with its solution. So let's move to question number 1. In question number 1, there are two important external components that managers in the movie theater chance to know about. First, in the uncertainty how people want their movies delivered, which is trade-off between convenience and qualities. As a manager, you have to know what they need and understand their mentality. The second factor managers have to remember is the impression consumer have of the movie going experience. This will strongly affect their psychology, which will cause the consumer retention. The question 2 and 3 is talking about the external trends that managers have to deal with. There are two things that managers have to keep in their mind. The first important one is the oversized screen of the IMAX Corp, which is one of the major threat. To deal with it, the movie theater chains have to put more investment. They can add several extra dollars to the ticket price, resulting in increased revenues. Moreover, the next problem which managers have to face with is how to proactively in avoiding illegal download of films and the increasing amount of entertainment stream online. Countering that threat, movie theater industry have asked for filtering mechanism to keep unlawful materials of the site and developed the type of licensing arrangements. And the final question is I think that the most important stakeholders of movie theater chains are the customer, the media, and the competitors. Customer determine the success of business. The media is an extremely important stakeholder for theater chains, and the media can help attract customer to an organization and cause them to take their business elsewhere. So another important stakeholder of movie theater chains include the competitors. Every business will have to have some sort of competition it has to deal with. Movie theater will completely offer better movies and a deeper variety of concession and lower prices. In the interest, competitors have to draw more customer away from their competition to their own business.